So at 30, I started WineLibrary TV. YouTube blows up. At 31, I'm on Conan O'Brien, Ellen. There's articles being written about me. Now they're writing that the business grew from $3 to $60 million in sales. I'm becoming this guy. I got so many goddamn emails from friends in high school during that period when I was showing up in all these magazines and TV shows. And every single one of them was like, hey, Gary, you remember me from high school? Oh my God, you're so lucky. I wrote back every single one of them and said, let me just clarify one thing. I'm not lucky. I worked every goddamn weekend and every holiday since I was 14 years old. So you can keep that luck shit in your pocket. On my 30th birthday, I looked myself in my rear mirror as I was driving from New York to New Jersey, and I said, you're not behaving to back up your own words. And 8 weeks later, I started WineLibrary TV on YouTube and started the process of changing my career. I have massive empathy. You know, it's not so awesome right now. You're hoping for that thing. I get it. I get it so much you can't imagine. I get 10,000 emails a day of like, can't I just do this? No, you can't. If it was so easy, if it was so damn easy, don't you think we'd all choose that? It's a long game. I was told between 7 years old and 18 years old that I lost, that I was a loser because this is what I got. F-City, baby. But when I saw F-City, I knew inside that this was not the game that I was gonna play. I was patient. I ate crow in that 12-year period while the market and the machine told me I wasn't gonna win. I knew where my outcome was. And you may now be in your 20s and 30s and 40s, and the machine, the marketplace might be telling you that you're gonna lose, but it is about staying the course and putting in the work and positioning yourself in the right position to go out and win. You know why I'm sitting here right now? Because I outworked you. Zoom in, I outworked you. What if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you you die this week? Would you complain about your crap job or that test you don't want to take? I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're begrudging what you're about to do, if you're not looking forward to it, look, I respect practicality. You gotta go through school because your parents want to. You gotta pay your rent. You got student loans, I get it. But please recognize the world we're living in. We're living in a world where there's so much more opportunity. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us, way more. I mean, look, you might not even be alive. Like, your mom and dad could have had sex like 3 minutes later and you wouldn't even exist and you're complaining. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I wanna do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please, take a step back and think about how awesome it actually is. And then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way because you were lucky enough to be born during this era. I have 2 calls right after I do this video. Phil Toronto from VaynerRC, the fund, is coming and having a meeting that was gonna be at 11:30 p.m. tonight. He's coming to meet me at 1. Basically, what I'm fascinated by is that people like to say they hustle, and I talk about working the whole day, and then I've talked to you guys a lot about, well, it's not about how much you sleep, it's what you do while you're awake, and this is a perfect example of something that I've watched a lot of my contemporaries and a lot of you, the Vayner Nation, right, that say they love to hustle. When something happens, a meeting gets canceled, right? There's a curveball, it's a snow day, right? They take that as vacation time instead of adjusting to it. See, the truth of the matter is, being efficient, executing, shooting for those big goals is predicated on your actions. Do you take an extra long lunch from jury duty to say, you know what, cool, I'm gonna chill and watch YouTube videos? Or do you hustle your face off and try to cram as much in to, you know, I'm excited that that's my first thought. Now look, I get it. I'm sitting on a high chair right now and talking down to like, you should do this. I'm really not. I'm really not telling you what you should do. I'm really not trying to be a guru. I'm not really trying to be too cool and say, ha ha ha, look at me, not you. I'm really not. I'm really just making these videos, not for the people that you find this condescending, not for the few people that find it motivational. I'm making this video for the people that are full of shit, right? The ones that tell me to my face every day that yeah, you know, and really want it and don't recognize the actions that it takes to get there. So I'm making this video for a very small percentage of you. To the left, look, oh, Gary thinks he's so cool. To the right, that's the best ever. Complete blindness. No, the middle. The middle, my friends. So many of you that actually want this, have the skills to do this, right? And sometimes, once in a while, just need to see a different version of it to understand, right? To me, this is an video, right? Did you mail it in? Did you mail in that 15 minute call got canceled? You had a packed day, 15-hour day. It got canceled. What are you doing in that 15 minutes? And by the way, sometimes those 15 minutes are absolutely worth calling your mom, calling your daughter, FaceTime with your kids, but it's just making every minute count. Every minute has to count. Every minute has to count if you want so much, because you just don't have as many of them as you think. You just don't.
19, 20, 25-year-old that feels that they're entitled to this, and then on the flip side, the diminishing just a little bit of ashes with a little smoke left of that same entrepreneur when they were 22 at 46, when practicality and family dynamics and the history and the market tearing down and the lack of that same opportunity has just dwindled down to a moment where they don't believe that they've got that shot. And I'm here to tell you, you absolutely do. I mean, there are absolutely a ton of entrepreneurs that started their companies in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s when it was difficult to do such a thing. Sidney Frank, who created Grey Goose, didn't invent his big thing until in the 70s. And so I'm desperate to give you the springboard to say, you know what? Instead of watching House of Cards seasons, instead of trying to go to ball games or things of that nature, I do have 7 p.m. till 2 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Heck, for a lot of you, the kids are out of the house. I mean, let's get into practicality for the late 40s, 50s, 60-year-olds that are watching this right now. The kids are out of the house. Like, yeah, you could pick up golf, or you could finally start that candle company because you put pretty pictures of candles on Instagram and it happens. Learn the craft. Figure out the opportunity at hand. Go attack it. You only live once. When you're 90 to 100 years old and you're regretting that you never built this business and you let this era pass, this moment where there's so much entrepreneurial upside, you'll regret it, and regret is the worst.
I mean, that's what it is. At least the way I see it. Like, I got home at midnight last night. And every night. Like, it's just real. Like, just, man, I don't have to. So, I don't know, I think there's a real opportunity to inspire a generation that so deserves it. Like, I almost feel like that's, being 40, I feel like I'm caught right in the middle. Like, I have so much empathy I recognize how insane I had to be to like, I mean, you can't even imagine how not practical being an entrepreneur was when I was your guys, like when I was half your age, like in school, like a 15-year-old now in school that's getting D's, but is like selling shit on the internet. Everyone's like, oh, there's our next, you're the next Mark Zuckerberg. And mine was like, yo, you're the next piece of shit. Like it's so insanely different. And so I have a lot of empathy for people that I don't know if they recognize how real it is.